Hello. I got a couple of Reddit posts I would like to read because I was exploring Reddit and I thought they were funny. Firstly, Mr. Acorn 69420 Part 2 posted on XDEFIANT subreddit 10 days ago. He says, "We need skill-based matchmaking." Alright, I'll hear him out. I don't want to shut down his argument immediately. Let's have a look. With no skill-based matchmaking, I can't just chill and play like in COD. This game forces me into lobbies with everyone, so sometimes I'm chilling and stomping people, but other times I'm forced to sit up and try my hardest and still go negative. This is not healthy for the game, as every game has an MMR system for a reason. I'm trying to have fun, but simply can't because of the lack of skill-based matchmaking. Very interesting take from Mr. Acorn, but we have another take that I would like to read as well before I comment on any of them, because they all fall into the same category. Okay, Fanblade64 went to r/XDefiant 4 days ago with the post, SBMM is good for the game. Okay, interesting take, let's hear him out. "You are an idiot if you don't want skill-based matchmaking. First off, while COD uses SBMM, it uses an intense version called EOMM, which is why every game is a sweatfest or pub stump. This is the worst version of it and should not be in the game. But not having any is an even worse experience. You are lucky to get a lobby that's not a pub stump or sweatfest. You have no choice. No player agency at all. This isn't good as it just makes the experience worse." Very intriguing. Very intriguing. We got one more post that I would like to bring up, and then we'll get to the meat and potatoes, shall we? Okay, Sparer Thought. 1 month ago, r/XDefiant. "As a below average player, I don't understand why so many people desire a no SBMM. I've been reading in this subreddit since the early tests how much people want a no SBMM in this game. As I see it, no SBMM will create lobbies where very good players, a few, will play and against medium, bad, and very bad players. These three types of players are the vast majority of any player base. So they will destroy while the rest just keep respawning. So the benefit will go to a minority. And that will hurt the player base over time. At least with SBMM, I always have a chance. What am I missing?" Very intriguing take from Spare Thought. Alright, so as you can see, there is a theme here, which is that some players, not a lot, but definitely some, a very vocal some, have taken arms against the XDefiant development team for the decision to make a no skill-based matchmaking experience. And some of them are confused as to why players would want that. So, I thought I would do the world a favor, and I would educate some people about why skill-based matchmaking is so terrible, and why XDefiant not having it is vastly superior. Here's the reason that I like skill-based matchmaking not being in this game. Because, look at it this way, if I love this game, and I'm super passionate about it, and I want to get really good at it, and every day I load up the game, and I practice, I get really good, maybe I want to go pro, maybe I want to hit the highest rank, doesn't really matter. I don't need a reason as to why I want to do well. I just want to do well. But let's say that I want to do well, but I'm only average. So, every game I'm like 20 and 18, maybe a game I'm a little bit negative, maybe I'm like 19 and 21, and then maybe I have a good game, I'm like 25 and 15, and I'm having a pretty average experience, but one day I go, you know what, dude, I want to get really good at this game. So you start grinding, you start practicing, you start learning, and all of a sudden, you go from being the Timmy, going 20 and 18, to being the Chad, dropping 80 a game. And do you know why you went from being the 20 kill a game player that's dying a lot to the 80 kill a game player? It's because when you decided to get good at the game and started practicing and learning and getting better, that has a direct impact on your actual playing experience, in the sense that because you are better at the game, you will perform better because you're going against random players based purely on connection. So the reason that no skill-based matchmaking in a public match is better is because when I am grinding the game, let's say I want to be very good, my reward for grinding the game and getting very good is that I will be performing a lot better statistically in terms of the average, because I am a lot better than the average. My hard work getting better at the game, or my passion for the game, or whatever it may be, whatever reason I have to get better at the game, is directly rewarded in the sense that I get to do better because I am better. My reward for putting in the time is having a slightly more enjoyable experience because I get to show off my skill in comparison to the average player. I perform better because I am better. In the same way, let's say that you are that average player and I kill you over and over and over again. Now most people, especially the older people who grew up with the old CODs, would look at that player and go, wow, he's very good. What is he doing that I'm not doing? Maybe his class setup is very good. Maybe the gun he's using is very good. Maybe the way he's running around the map is better to the way I'm doing it. Maybe he just knows the map a little better. Maybe he knows the traffic better. Maybe he understands the abilities and the weapons more. Something like that. Maybe his aim's just very good. Maybe his positioning is good. Maybe his movement is good. And it gives you that drive to improve. At least it did for older players. The problem is, the new generation of COD players never experienced that. There was never a moment where they ever had to question their own skill, because every lobby they're in is the most tightly skill-based matchmaking applied lobby available. So everyone always thinks that they're in the highest skill-based matchmaking bracket, because every game they queue into are people directly level to them most of the time. So everyone is performing averagely. So if you are a very good player, your reward is nothing, because you just go against people who are exactly the same skill level as you for no incentive whatsoever. You don't get more experience, you don't get a cool rank, nothing. It's the exact same experience as the horrible player who's going against people of his skill level. Neither player is having fun, neither player knows how to improve. They are just constantly going through this roundabout of emotions where no matter what happens, they are still exactly where they are regardless of how good they are at the game. They're both in the exact same position no matter what. So then the argument will obviously apply to ranked. Well, if you don't like skill-based matchmaking in pubs, then why do you like it in ranked? Well, I'll explain. Because ranked has an incentive for there to be skill-based matchmaking. For example, let's say I'm queuing into ranked, and on the enemy team there's 3 bronze players and maybe a gold player, 2 plat players, and like a diamond player, right? And I'm grandmaster, and I queue with 2 more grandmaster players. So there's 3 grandmasters on my team, and then like 3 plats, right? There is absolutely no incentive to grind ranked anymore, because even when I'm queuing into ranked, I'm not actually competing anymore. I'm just essentially grinding the game for a fake rank. It's not earned necessarily, because it's not directly competing against those people who are at that level. Which is why in ranked, having a skill-based matchmaking system or an MMR system makes way more sense, because when you are grinding to actually improve, you are grinding to actually get better at the game and achieve a higher rank, which is your reward for getting better. You're able to beat better players and therefore maintain a higher rank. Which is the only incentive for skill-based matchmaking, is achieving and maintaining that higher rank. Where in public matches, you don't have a rank. So there is no reason to have a skill-based matchmaking system. The public matches are exactly the same as the ranked matches, except maybe they're formatted slightly differently. And one of them has a visible rank, and one of them has an invisible rank, which is the problem with skill-based matchmaking, is that you are constantly grinding ranked, even in pubs, when you are playing with skill-based matchmaking. So, now I get to choose. Do I just want to chill out, maybe use a shitty gun, maybe do something weird, play with some friends? I'll jump into some pubs. I don't really care if I win or lose. I'll take it casual. Maybe I'll go for a high kill game. Maybe I'll use a goofy build. It doesn't matter, because my experience is directly correlated to the average player, in the sense that if I'm vastly superior to them in terms of skill, then my statistics will represent that. And it's not because I did something weird, I'm using meta builds, it's nothing like that, it's because I'm a better player. In the same way that if a really bad player looks at that really good player, they may gain the desire to become that really good player and actually wish to improve, which is significantly better than whatever the skill-based matchmaking protected class is today, which is majority COD players, where a lot of them think that skill-based matchmaking is healthier for the casual player when it's actually not, because a casual player doesn't actually get to have a casual experience when there is skill-based matchmaking involved, unless they're playing ranked. And if they're playing ranked, then they're trying to compete and not relax, which makes them a competitive player, which makes them not a casual anymore. So their experiences will obviously differ. That's the divide, that's the issue, is that people who protect skill-based matchmaking in public matches don't understand that they're not actually protecting skill-based matchmaking, they're protecting a hidden ranked system that forces you to compete in a ranked format, but does not give you any rewards for it. It's literal masochism. It doesn't make sense. So now, I hope that kind of clears up why people hate skill-based matchmaking, and why I personally hate it, but why it's fine in ranked, because it's completely different. Anyway, I'm going to be the rank 1 XDEFIANT player. Mark my words, I'm hitting rank 1. I love you all. Goodbye. Maybe, or don't, I don't know. I'm going to go eat some French toast, I think. Goodbye. Mwah.